mono sana mwanchumulilia Etaya TV na nogosemeria Kwana kigima kwa beri ko gutwara bugirire burubuya na mono ko gokera miruberio ao iyo egendete korentwa na mono na abaralia ao kuraiga se igetaseni kia ona mbeye mo igetaseni kia chire kuma igetaseni kamenyekere Etaya TV uburubura bubo usi unabono litukulerero emambia iga igutoba tumurubelio manyakaire Etaya breakfast show murubelio kolentwa na Brighton Makori abago konya na no muswa tientingana manyakaire na Sara nyarangi ontita na neno gosemere kwanenga kwabeire kugutwara urigirire burubuya anena mono chingaki intwe buregeta seni anena mono tuligetie kwana kianga anena mono gokomanyia tole ali agendete gokurekana na kubwa mono alia anena mono akorenta obosemia na inde arenta ukumanya na kugosemia ngai enserochi gochuma chubugiria tumati gosoma tegari tukulerero ni tariki 24 tariki 10 mwaka wa 2024 ndoche ngumwaka nigogendete kuminyoka sana matukuni gagendete kumaya na kigima na kugosemere kwanenga kirokende onye kwabwate target y'umwaka wa 2024 kindly sabanya saya gokonye iliunyare ko kuikiranya bike ikiagera ndoche nga resolutions y'umwaka 2024 onye ntoyiko chukuchikirania sogwanga mono ndocha matuko nebiro nene mono ne chingaki niko bigendere gusuka igobano nukubolia nga tugendere gusaberana egerengo mwaka gokwera oerebuya nyasaya linda bantu baye na korento mulembe asemechie nebinyoro au wanchobulilia litukulia lero miyo murubelio Kwana Etaya una ikawaida hali tukuria Alhamisi nikokumerana na inche Cyrus Azizi ime yomurubelio Kwana Etaya chinga kumwanchomulilia tukotema kuligeria na kumurikiraria gende tukorekana asebinyoro na makoli na emaseyemo wetira sabaliki baito bamangana tobire ntaiga na kubikwanera na mono kukumanyu mwanchomulilia kigera iyo nereganga yaito na nene mono kuba Etaiga mwanchomulilia unabono litukulia lero across county ya Nyamira ndiko kumanyirwa ngaba MCA ebe county assembly ya Nyamira litukulia lero nigo barachi gukonda iguru y'umuswada bukone ku mwaka isiko omo speaker we county yo ose assembly yo ya Nyamira manyakene na Enoko okero machubulilia ne bwana tukunyurunga samutukamaga nigo aba MCA senyombelia ye county assembly ya Nyamira bai mogete na komoselia kurasibiro kiaye mo speaker Enoko okero na komura ibintu biria bialenga samagokaye krokende birengete county assembly birengeta aba MCA abo na sekeria kigotebekana bona nigo omo speaker yo arekanire ko bomonto obwato gwanchereria na nena mono abwato gwanchereria kuchaso mugavana we county yo ya Nyamira manyakende na Amos nyaribo litukolera mwachobulilia nigo aba MCA be county yo barache bono kugendera gukorera iguru yengana yo kwane kumwaka isiko mo speaker yo Enoko okero mwachobulilia ne mwana tukunyuronga chinga kechiga mo MCA we ward yekerenyo omoske nyabaro nero ikaranzire tekerogo kia omo speaker bonabono omokonyi bomo speaker we county assembly yo ya Nyamira mwanchobulilia Etaya TV nebegete kambia senseme yo na chingaki mangana yara chake kigima intwe Etaya TV intwe libagalito na nemona gokoya rentera masejemo kurase county assembly ya Nyamira na munarabe gakugendera tosukolanya ko mwanchobulilia ikiagera amange na nemona intwe bunegeta seni Etaya TV nigo tokotema kumurikira na nemona gokumanya ya masejemo una agokurekana tosukolanya ko mwanchobulilia ikiagera ayo negati ya yande amange alia togenda tigukuruberia mwanchomulilia litukulelero nene mono imeyo murubiriga Kwana Etaya mwanchomulilia boigo kiga kitogenda gusuka bosio inganenera iga somuno bwekanya muriro bagoteba clergy na abarai bechi kanisa abo barure a warning entindi ochia ase a proposal ile kiwa ase bunge ya Senate eganetie komenta all elected leaders miaka 5 nebere ase tamwe yemo manchobolire ne wana tukonyoro manchobolire kuikamoniga ensi ya Kenya nige omonta agotwara enige tamwe yeme bwate miaka 5 ngaiga kara twachorire omo speaker twachorire omo governor twachorire omo senator twachorire omo MCA twachorire omo bunge niga bwate miaka 5 ase abisi ko nigo omo senator we county Nandi Samson Cherargei aikio mswada ase bunge ya Senate kokanianga all elected leaders bamento miaka ebere iyo egoche goike miaka 5 nebere bono asekirita ko machibulire yikagendrete ndocha iganga omo senator omanyaka indabuna tangwa nigo arule nere proposal yaye nga miaka ya all elected leaders inga bali bagwa kuchukura bali bakulikumira bona bana inchi bono eru 5 uchene wancho mulire maitinga ningora kire kura asabo babiri masenata okurukanga Samson Cherargei bwe county ya Nandi nigo anene mona ruli getambo kirunga e county yaninga all elected leaders ba mentu miaka ebere iki miaka 5 nebere elionga asekere tam batwara immediate left elections we count 7 years nende twamanya wake kura yende ko mosene tanara nero manyaka ne honorable tangwa mosene to yonera ni gaikirie omuswado ya se bunge otabange term limit ebe miaka 4 machubulire ne wana tukonyurwanga chingaki kiama kia UPA kia bwate egeikaro bakoragwa nomo MCA we ward ya Maske West Moske Jacob Magaka nere akwanete ngane yega ya mangana ya term limits nere akaruka rengelinga anga ukitali miaka ya mentwa anga nigo yake igwa ochanonye miaka 4 the same point nere ndo chomo senator munyekane bona tangwa alentire ase senate na nemono ukwanirwanga konango nigo bona miaka iyo yake igwa gochene na tali 5 osina tali 5 nebere machobulira yo nari agendete kubwata mabirera ase mo ye kisiasa machobulira ne bona tukoyiranga kitariki 20 Friday yari tukoriankyo kegarere ne kitariki 44 ona kitariki 25 ose kitariki 25 mutinyo yigo ikomi na lori tukulio moelio ligokora public participation yo mswado ye Samson Cherargei uyolengetenga all elected leaders bamentwe term limit yabo ebe miaka 5 nibere ko ayuka gendrete omo senator tangwa nere nigare tringa ne yo ane mona se bunge bono ntwe gasi itono ko ya Kwana gasi senate nero no ko yaerera na gotonyorera richiu oigo machobulira chinga kinga ne yegendete ane mono kubwata nse ne wana tukunyuranga guikira boniga nigo bado ekiombegia IEBC kitarabekwa in place na olengana ne constitution nigega takirenga at least ekiombegia IEBC nigo ababisa bali batakire ko basi abisi emiaka 3 at least iliokonekia ogochori anene mono ibwensi ya Kenya kubona wikira boniga tore 2024 miaka netigarete bono ange 3 bado kiombekia IEBC kirabekwa ase kiabisi turatwara kiombekia IEBC ni short kirabekwa in place ikabono nagatia bono boko na kurira libirengererio nga politically nga yebirengererio bibiro chigochia ngana ya Samson Cherargei raisa gueta usinaoe serikali rochi ngana ya Samson Cherargei ete mangana makusana mwanchumuliria kona iyo nigo tukoyatigera ababunge bakire kura koirwa anene mono ase bunge nene likone kyanga ngokonya bara abananchi nkobeka bali birenkeri abananchi ase meza na anene mono kone kyanga kwonerwa bire oigo gasi aba senator nere yuigo obono ntwe nigo tugotigera anene mono abaroiseri chiko egere anene mono tolenga ngaki barochi nande nkikije kero kende baganetie anene mono ugokora wancho manera chinga kiboigo ayo agendrete ndoche ngaki yo chiklaji chali kurwa kurate ntindi anene mono against increase yo ye term limit of 7 years niko watebete buna ingana buna yo nigetakeire referendum egara abantu abananchi besonne fully bakekura igoro yengana buna yiga natali abaseneta nababunge koira libagali abene kuetia imiswada bune yigane mono erengete abakenya directly so timanyeti nga ine serikali ne chetegerere abaraya baiga iki kanisa alina mono komeki ngana bune yo ebe ingana iganeti referendum na ne mono kutire referendum ije konekianga ngwa katori chikura alina mono guetie ingana bune yiga Kono wachobrila inali agenda tendoche kuna kolenta amaberera nene mono sensemo ye kisiasa ose political field. Kwa hiyo wachobrila ndoche iga kiombekelia gia Teacher Service Commission nigo anene mono bono yeso okirie nagoteba buna magega yabo ose kiombekio kuboya balimu kuicholia ose go apply asamba baga yekilifu emerongene na mabaga merongene na etano mo nigo bono wikirabo nigo mwanchumuliria banyari ko nyora abantu baichoirie ase kigasi ekiga 46000 so far abantu balia banyari ko gukora applications bale abantu kilifu kimisato na 14 ne chimia ne mia yemo na 15 babiri mwachubuliria nabokuliria gap between abalia batakere ko bekwa mirimo na balia baichui wikirabone igaso umuntu bwekanya muriro abantu baichoiri osaba alimu bali bakore kuri university au na bono bakorira applications kuchekonyole mirimo ni go 314,117 ko nigo kebiga Teacher Service Commission keigetie uchakolika abalimu 46,000 boka nalere bwana tukunyorongo mwancho bagiriria on the west obeira se internship already nabwate a max gete igonga anya konyuturia se internship igono ro chance se itero chikocha nande no chinga abantu balenga we can talk of abantu bali jobless balinga onye serikali gete tukulika abantu 46,000 abantu baicholi 314,117 aburoche gapo ngakinga nagabo ibagalinga nanga kapisa abantu balia baichoiri na balia bagone tukuliko kono mwancho bulia ase balia baichoire ntubune ta TV nigo tokwanira maya anemono kwene kyango konyora balia emeremo eyo mwancho bulia boy gondo chaiganga chingaki anemona mangana yo shift kurwase bima ya NHIF uchese bima elia enya emanyakene buna sha ya twalili birira litindi magega ya rollout ya mutinyo yiga nigo ebiombe bya public sector unions bya called for a strike kopa no mwacho balili mugiro yo niko nyari kopa gogo ikomo elio magega ya serikali nebiombe byo bya public sectors wikira no kuigwanana na kuigwana nuko niko kwanyorete ugo SAI osesei niko yabege twegati ya public sector unions na baba kubwati gati yabo ndocha iga Justin Mturi oyore public service cabinet secretary tukatwara boigo Alfred Mutua uyo teneta mangana leba na ndi tukatwara boigo Deborah Barasa uyo teneta mangana yoba chenu ikobanonga niko mugiro yo nyara tukabago kurangirwa ku ikomo elio magiga yoko ikero ku igwanana na magiga yoko igwanana ku ebyombe ebyo pamoja na aba waziri au anamono mawaziri wa mangana public service mawaziri wa mangana aleba no mawaziri wa mangana yoba chenu baikirane tazo kuigwana na kubeke sei anamono gocha kwana kianga amaganio yebyombe biga bya serikali ngocyari kuigugwa ugo manchumoliria asama tukabwe ngoiga inyaruke yemo yari gusoma si university ya Nairobi nyaruke manyaka ine bona masi kwamboka uyona manyigo nyara ko baga kwenigwa bono KDF officer uyo okageire kobanganero moiti wenyaruke yiga nigo abekiru biara asikeleke gotebekananga no boiti botali obuya boiti asencherembe bomanyaka inaso munu bekinyamuriro nga brutal mada bona abekiru biara na nigara chiwekiwa sekoti elio kwereneria igati ya mabolio ali alengete amakwelia yenyaroka manyakaire bona masi kwamboka bago machumalilia ndoche apa MCA na igati ya barai kurwase anemono ensemeli ya Baringo na anemono constituency ya Baringo kusebunge ya Baringo South beso kirie na kobolia ba DCI como summon omobunge wenseme yumanyikane buna kamket asamangana ali abeirega Kwana anemona mangana bagote buna nigara mangana abwate incitement amangana abwato gusegeta kuwitira manyinga ase ensemeyo ya Baringo South aba MCA kula ensemeyo nigo beso kiringa asa mangana alia kamkete au kwanira anemona arengete anemono ugochakiwa kwa rinani ime ya ensemeyo ya kamket nigo kwa koleretwe public participation anemono naba MCA kula ensemeyo nago ikerana lichibu yokubeka erinani asensemeyo ya kamket na kolende bono iyo yalakaningo mabungo kamket umanyekaine buna manyekaine buna MP kamket nigo abwata mangana kolekana utwaro gusegeta na kogania goitera amanyinga sensemeyo ya Baringo South Majumaliria boigondo chenga omora ibense muske William Samoei Ruto litukolia lero na nomone mambia ya lero nigo atwalire enkwana yae kurase kinsemo chena kuru abo ase abote kerengane nemono kyo chakia anemono sekta ya mangana yikinguru chomolero na nigo aikerana sensemeyo elio gokora ground breaking osekobe kaliga na rio boroso anemono asukwa gacho we sekta yena nigatebirubuna nigarengete anemono gochakia sekta yikinguru chomolera sensemeyo ebwate goika anemono 35 megawatts echukira chego konya abakenya anemono konekianga anemono chinguru chomolero nkonyara kire komente kana sekerengo kigoro mono baigo mara igwense muske William Samoei Ruto magikayo kurwa sense meyo ya Nakuru nigo akagaire ko ikirana wika sense mele ya Bomet seboigo akagaire ko gendereria na gochakia gati ya magenderero au ase anemono sense meyo ya Bomet onchobaliria ngajire tuyikemeyegeito kurwa sense mo ya Kabre studio elio torgereria lia walikibaito bamangana babikira semesa ilituko diarero Right, manjumulilia karibu naende na nigongopolia ngosanga mwananchi goika omoele malitana nigonguru kwa Cyrus Azizi. Kono machubuligira tutarachaka ya abaliki baitu bamang'ana ndocha iganga ing'ana imuringite umukonyi bumurai bwense Rigathi Gachagua nigo rituka ria rero mono ibikaro ase koti iria ya Milimani birachi gochaka bene elio ochia anene mono kumanyanga ngai ing'ana ya hewa kwa isiko kurwasi abisi yokoba mokonyi bumurai bwense erengete wego manchu mulire ndoche bunera kumanyia mo seneta bwe county ya Kiambu moske Karungo nigo atebire buna nigarache goikia omuswada ase senate oyo urigetie kuirania miaka ya barai kobera bisi kuro miaka 5 wike miaka 4 nigo atebire buna tibabwanereti komente miaka gochia 5 nebere kurinde koyekeia iyo iragere abantu barose na barai anene muno balia bachoriro onchobalilia nanjire twende ase ensemo ya kabere ya studio toigwe oroboti wasenkere yo bikira.
And this is my statement as a senator of Kiambu County, Karongo Athangwa, having listened to the people of Kenya and the people of Kiambu County. Ladies and gentlemen of the press and fellow citizens, thank you for gathering here today. I stand before you not only as a legislator, but as a committed advocate for the democratic values that underpin our great nation, Kenya. Today, I wish to address a matter of profound importance that affects the very fabric of our democracy: the proposed amendment of the Constitution of Kenya regarding term limits for elected officials. As you are aware, the current proposal that is before the Senate seeks to extend the presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 years to 7 years. I firmly believe that this change poses significant risks to our democratic principles. It is a proposal that every Kenyan would want to align with, a 4-year term proposal, because Kenyans are tired. They for sure would want to do away with the current situation. Looking at the person who proposed this amendment, the 7-year term, looking at where he comes from, looking at how he voted in the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, where he voted that Gachagua should go home. This 7-year term proposal is a grand scheme for people to retain power. And it's not just the president. All those, and especially those who kicked out the deputy president. Because they know, and they know the people that they serve are against or were against such a move. So what they want is because they understand they cannot be voted for in 2027. They want to take this opportunity and sneak another half term in their 5-year term. As I ask Kenyans, if you have ever told yourself that you are going to exercise Article 1 and Article 2 of the Constitution, that the sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya, if you have ever thought that you would want to invoke that article, the time is now. The time is now. You can imagine the leaders who are proposing a 7-year term. They could not tolerate one of their own for the next 2 years. That is the DP. They could not tolerate it. They kicked him out before he finishes his term. Why do they think that we should tolerate them for 7 years? Can you imagine the discontent that is there in this country, that people can go on with it for the next 7 years? So this is a time for each and every person to rise up and say no to this 7-year term and support my motion. We actually reduce from 5 to 4.
Mchomulile yo ni Kwana ya yemo seneta oyo anemono mnyakainde buna tarangwa anemono ukwanira iguru yengananga nigarachie anemono kolenta muswada sebunge uganetie gokeye miaka anemono yaba all elected leaders goyekeye goikene natali etano nebere una omo seneta anene mono we county ya Nandi mo seneta Samson Jerarigei tebete buna nene mono nigo alengete kona kiang mo swado yoko ikiwa oyo igeti ase ebunge ya senate ile kona kianga miaka yega guchira komento kuri miaka anene mono miaka 5 anene kuru ile kona kianga ngoikere miaka 5 nebere na mwana nakumenya mwanchobogiria asengane yoyo komente term limit anene mone miaka nigo ekoera nkyo ngane manyeka ni na public participation tumaitigo sae kwanyolre sakali yo ya mangana ya public participation kurwa sore na bukuri kyujumba abutomanye kegera nkumanyigwa nga nigo ekoera litukori nkyo wego mwanchobogiria ndoche osuka bosio nkumanyigwa nga abana chibina Anton Murima Frida Mugambi na Eric Ogola nigo barachie gotegerera na korwa okonacha igoro yekine kyo kerengete owa kwa isiko kwa Rigathi Gachagua ikyo ke ikiwa abosio bwikambire kyo na bigo mancho mulile chingaki anemono togenda te gukwanda igoro ya mangana Rigathi Gachagua nigo litukulia rero kina kiae kiangeire gotegererwa bene na asege krebosio intwebne ta TV ntuchukwira ribaga ane mono ryogo korentera mirobeli yo no gotegererwa ko ya maseyemo ane mono kurwase court ya kisema kiria cha milimani kabano manchumugire tutaraganda sikisema cha milimani ngangere tategerere oroboti rwakore twasiri tukore igoro rugukwanira buna abachachi abo Eric Ogola Anton Murima na Frida Mugambi barachie kunacha ekine kyo kia Rigathi Gachagua ekyo kyo chakwa otegererwa bene lituko diarero.
The above provision creates 3 tiers in which constitutional functions can be exercised. That is, by the substantive office holder, or by a person in an acting capacity, or by a person otherwise performing the functions of the office at any particular time. In our understanding, and against the background of the doctrine as stated, the drafters of our constitution were deliberate about ensuring that the administration of duties and the application of the constitutional provisions are continuous and seamless, recognizing the necessity for offices and their functions to be performed even in transitional or extraordinary circumstances. Such an interpretation avoids technicalities and vacuums that could disrupt the functioning of set officers of public institutions, thereby promoting administrative efficiency and upholding the principles of constitutional governance. The provision reflects the broader principles of the rule of law and good governance, which require that state and public officers continue to function effectively even during periods of transition or when the substantive office holder is unavailable. It in turn promotes legal certainty and administrative efficiency by ensuring that all constitutional responsibilities are carried out without disruption. For this reason, the functions of Article 165, Sub-Article 4, in our view, and in as far as the same relate to the office of the Chief Justice, also includes the Deputy Chief Justice acting in the capacity of the office of the Chief Justice or discharging its functions in an interim, acting or auxiliary role. At this point in time, we also wish to point out that the Honorable Chief Justice empaneled this very bench on the 14th day of October 2024 to deal with 6 constitutional petitions that inter alia challenged the first petitioner's impeachment process in the National Assembly. The said petitions are still current. On the 18th of October 2024, the Honorable DCJ empaneled the same bench to deal with constitutional petitions challenging the impeachment of the first petition in the Senate. To us, it is beyond peradventure that the Honorable DCJ can assign judges under Article 165, sub-article 4 of the Constitution, whenever he or she is discharging any of the constitutional functions on behalf of the Chief Justice. In this case, we do not find any fault in the Honorable DCJ assigning judges to sit in this bench, more so when the Honorable Chief Justice has not raised any red flag. Thank you.
Onjomolgeria ikyo nekinakiria anemono kia veterula seri tukule igoro nibona tukujurong monjomolgeria abegireri anemona ba wakili bensemo yaye mo deputy president Rigathi Gachagua bono nigo baige nigo seri tukule igoro balingene kirenga yogoteba buna anemono 3 judge bench iyo ya chorwa na deputy CJ Philomena Mwilu nigere unconstitutional na buna CJ Philomena Mwilu tabwatiri bagaralios dio ko bachora abo batatu anemono babori tuwe bachorwe anemono nere mokonyi bo marebwe serikali Gachagua na nigasiri tukole igoro ekine kyo kia ye anemono Rigathi Gachagua anemono kirachie kuigugwa guchakari tukulia rero na nigo kirachie kunachwa na aba jaji abo bachorwa na bwana komanya nigo bari Eric Ogola ntobwate Anton Murima tukatora boigo Frida Mugambi abo mbali abono bagochia gutegerera ngana yae ikinakia Rigathi Gachagua na boigo monchumuliria gochia gukenacha mono ikobono Rigathi Gachagua ngasenchirende na bwato gosemelia ase judiciary and na ande tabwati ere kabe ikobono monchumuliria abo mbali baracho ikaransa semeze ane mono koenekia ukona chokwa kikinekyo kia Rigathi Gachagua boigo monchumuliria ndo chaiganga deputy president elect guseno mini sikirayende umenyekene bona Professor Kithure Kindiki docha igani gamangana makongera goteba bona is going to meet the political team on Saturday itukoria nkiende elio go consider okwerusia kwaye kurwase role ya chowunya iyo deputy president singenchukilia agitekelia goteba bona is amidst court cases ibyo ikiwa se gigampero na mo konyibo baraibu Rigathi Gachagua na bono nigagoteba buna nigo aboireirenga na barache koba jobless asemia ke yiga ebere tigalete iliyo konekia ngeta mwintangani ya elire bono doche kindura kindika korango boireiro bogima kidogo is considering a withdrawal from the deputy president role amidst the court cases from deputy president Rigathi Gachagua that could render him jobless. Mangana yigaga endeta sikoti aise koboli saini likurumo ina lioro cha sensemo ya interior CS na kero kenda egenenga na baho cha konyore kiroge kia deputy president amangana koti ira ni Rigathi Gachagua kwa deputy president it means mo cabinet secretary yo Professor Kithure Kindiki ni agochagotigara pira meremo asemia kayiga ebere ikiagero koranga ni gobono aoboereire anemono ingane iyo igoro yokugania otuwa pire meremo midist mangana gendrete ase ikegambero ekenene gose high court ayo alingete gocha kunacha ingana igoro yoko ne wako isiko kwaye omokonyi bomuraibu Rigathi Gachagua wigo manchubulilia ninkomanyenga litukolia rero nigo kinakia Rigathi Gachagua kagendrete gotegererwa gusikia chakire gotegererwa ase court enene ye maika ina bago na high court na nigo ya chakire bene na intune ta TV ntuchikwira libagalia bene elio kogendera gokumanyia nga naralia aragendera gokorekana ase semeyo nande nigo kubolia nga mwanchu mulgeria tosuka nonyanga kekiagera nga mwanchu mulgeria amanga yo agendete gokorekana anemono kurwase semeyo naro turachi kumulikira litukolia rero mwanchu mulgeria nigo komenyika nga kurwase ensemo ya kabere ye studio tayari twanyorire amangana agendere taharia sensemo ya high court asikinsemo cha milimani na ya maseyemo nigo kunganchira nkoire wikasa kinsemecho turagenda otegerera ngana ria gendrete asensemeyo obano tosukana nyanga ko mwacho muliria ningira naiga usuyo minto Brighton makoli go sara nyarangi utita mbachaiga samangana maya kinse chomo baso elio okumanyeria mangara bega ko gendra asensemeyo tondoro mwacho muliria.
We had requested formally that we would want 3 days to ensure that any amendments are carried out, and then the respondents will indicate, they have been saying they can do things within a day or two. They will indicate how much time they need to do the responses, because my lord, that would assist in ensuring that whichever bench is going to hear and determine this matter would be able to give final directions, because as we have said, these are interim directions. In order to be able to determine issues for determination, and these are issues that we deal with when we are doing pre-trial, issues for determinations that are essential in a matter with so many parties, that would require close of pleadings. And the close of pleadings means that all the responses must be given. So that, my lord, as far as today is concerned, I urge you respectfully that the first thing that can be forward is to ensure that the responses, in accordance with the Mutunga rules, will complete that journey. My lord, if that is done, it is my view that we will be able to make some progress. In the meantime, my lord, unless there is any other matter, because there was no other matter that was to be dealt with except directions, we would be happy to leave this place as soon as possible, so that we are ready in the afternoon. We are most obliged.
Just before leaving.
Senior, because I'm on the same side, perhaps you can have some response on it. Your Lordship, for purposes of clarity and for purposes of not addressing the gallery anymore, permit me to draw the attention of counsel for the Senate to the notice of motion that was filed in respect to the